1952. A producer screams at Maureen O'Hara in front of 50 people, calls her difficult, calls her replaceable. The set goes silent. O'Hara does not respond, does not retreat. She stands waiting. Then John Wayne steps forward. What he says next will define what it means to protect someone who matters. Here is the story. Moab, Utah, August 1952. Desert heat 106 degrees. The kind of heat that breaks equipment, breaks schedules, breaks people. They are filming Rio Grande. John Ford directing, Republic Pictures producing. Big budget western, the third in Ford's Cavalry trilogy. Maureen O'Hara stands in the center of the set, 32 years old. Red hair catching the sun, green eyes that can freeze a man at 20 paces. She is already a star. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. How Green Was My Valley. Miracle on 34th Street. Critics call her the queen of Technicolor. Her face was made for the camera, but today the camera is not rolling. Today there is a problem. Herbert Yates stands at the edge of the set, president of Republic Pictures. The man who signs the checks. The man who thinks that gives him the right to say anything. He has been watching the morning's work, growing angrier with each take. The schedule is slipping. The budget is climbing. Someone must be blamed. He chooses Maureen. Miss O'Hara. His voice carries across the set. Everyone hears. Everyone stops. Maureen turns, faces him. Yes, Mr. Yates. He walks toward her. Short man. Expensive suit. The walk of a man who owns things. We've been on this scene for 3 hours. 3 hours? Do you know what that costs? Maureen's chin lifts slightly. I'm aware of the schedule. Then why can't you get it right? The set goes quiet. 50 people, actors, crew, wranglers, extras, all watching. Maureen does not flinch. The scene requires emotional truth. Mr. Yates. That takes time. Yates steps closer. His face is red. Not from the heat. From something else. Emotional truth. He laughs. Not a kind laugh. You're an actress, Miss O'Hara. You pretend for a living. How much truth do you need? Someone in the crew shifts uncomfortably. Maureen's voice stays level as much as the scene requires. Yates explodes. The scene requires you to hit your mark and say your lines. That's all. That's what I'm paying you for. Not your opinions, not your artistic vision, your face and your voice. Nothing else. He is shouting now. Spittle at the corners of his mouth. You think you're special? You think you're irreplaceable? I have 100 actresses who would kill for this role. 100, you're nothing but a name on a contract. And contracts can be broken. The crew is frozen. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. This is not unusual. Not in 1952 Hollywood. Producers own actors. Everyone knows it. Actresses especially. They are property, decorations, things to be used and discarded. But Maureen O'Hara is not a decoration. She stands her ground, does not respond, does not retreat, does not give him the satisfaction of fear. Her silence makes him angrier. Nothing to say. Finally learned your place. He turns to the crew, gestures broadly. Let this be a lesson. Nobody is bigger than the picture. Nobody is bigger than the studio. Not even the great Maureen O'Hara. He turns back to her. Now get back to work and this time get it right or I'll find someone who can. Silence. Before we continue, quick question for you. Have you ever watched someone be humiliated while everyone stood by? What did you do? Drop your thoughts in the comments. John Wayne stands near the camera truck. He has been watching, listening, his jaw tight, his hands clenched at his sides. Wayne and O'Hara have known each other for 2 years. Rio Grande is their second film together. How Green Was My Valley was the first. There is something between them. Not romance, something else, something deeper. Trust. In Hollywood, trust is rare. Actors betray actors. Directors manipulate. Producers lie. Everyone protects themselves. But Wayne trusts O'Hara and she trusts him. They recognized something in each other. 2 people who refuse to break. 2 people who say what they mean. 2 people who do not play Hollywood games. Wayne calls her his favorite leading lady. Not because she is beautiful. She is. Not because she is talented. She is because she is real. No pretense. No manipulation. Just Maureen. Now he watches a small man try to make her smaller and something in Wayne shifts. He moves. Not fast, not dramatic, just movement. Deliberate steps across the desert sand. The crew watches. They know Wayne's temper. Know his fists. They have seen him punch men for less than this. Yates sees him coming. His face changes. Fear flickers behind the arrogance. Duke, we were just Wayne stops 3 feet away, close enough to tower over the smaller man. He does not raise his voice. I heard. Now, Duke, this isn't your concern. This is between me and Wayne's voice cuts through. Still quiet, still calm, more dangerous because of it. You don't talk to her like that. Yates blinks. Excuse me. Wayne takes 1 step closer. Maureen O'Hara is not your property. She is not a name on a contract. She is the reason people will buy tickets to this picture. Now wait a minute. Wayne continues, same level tone, same controlled power. She is not a part of this set, Mr. Yates. She is the pillar that holds it up. Without her, there is no film. Without her, there is no trilogy. Without her, you have nothing but horses and dust. His eyes narrow. So, you will not speak to her that way. Not today. Not ever. Is that clear? Yates's mouth opens, closes, opens again. Duke, I'm the president of this studio. You can't. Wayne leans in just slightly. Just enough. I can leave right now. Walk off this set and never come back. And I'll make sure everyone knows why. Every newspaper, every columnist, every theater owner in America will know that Herbert Yates drove John Wayne off a picture because he couldn't treat a lady with respect. He straightens. Is that what you want? Silence. The crew watches. 50 people holding their breath. Yates's face cycles through colors. Red to white to something in between. The calculations are visible. The cost of Wayne walking, the headlines, the scandal, the money. He cannot afford it. He knows it. Wayne knows it, too. Finally, Yates speaks. Voice smaller now. Deflated. Fine. We'll take a break. Resume in an hour. He turns, walks away, does not look back. The set exhales. Wayne turns to Maureen. She is still standing where she was. Same posture, same lifted chin, but something in her eyes has changed. Not gratitude exactly, recognition. She speaks quietly, so only he can hear. You didn't have to do that. Wayne shrugs. Yeah, I did. He could make trouble for you. Let him try. Maureen almost smiles. Why do you always fight my battles? Wayne looks at her. Direct, honest, because you shouldn't have to fight them alone, and because anyone who tries to break you down doesn't understand what you're worth. He turns, walks toward the craft services table like nothing happened. Maureen watches him go. That is Wayne. No speeches, no expectations, just action. He stood up because it was right. Because she mattered. Because that is what you do for the people you trust. The crew starts moving again. The tension breaks. But something has shifted. Everyone saw. Everyone will remember. John Wayne does not let his people fall. Quick thought. Have you ever had someone stand up for you when you couldn't stand up for yourself? That kind of loyalty is rare. It changes you. Rio Grande's 3 weeks later. Yates stays away from the set, communicates through assistants, never speaks to Maureen directly again. The film opens in November 1952. Critics praise it. Audiences love it. The box office exceeds expectations. Wayne and O'Hara become Hollywood's greatest partnership. 5 films together over 20 years. The Quiet Man, McClintock, Big Jake, Wings of Eagles. The chemistry is undeniable. The trust is visible on screen. People ask about it. Reporters, interviewers, what makes them work so well together? Maureen always gives the same answer. Duke respects me on set and off. He treats me like an equal, like a partner. In this business, that is everything. Wayne's answer is simpler. Maureen doesn't need me to be her hero. She can take care of herself, but I'll be damned if I'll let anyone try to take that from her. The Quiet Man, 1952. Same year as Rio Grande. John Ford directs. Wayne and O'Hara star. The famous scene. Wayne drags O'Hara across a field. Miles of Irish countryside. Physical, rough, real. O'Hara does her own stunts. No complaints. No hesitation. After the take, Wayne approaches her. You okay? She brushes dirt from her dress. I've had worse. He nods. I know you have. That is their relationship. No coddling, no condescension, just mutual respect between two people who refuse to break. 1971. McClintock, their last film together. They are both older now. Wayne 64, O'Hara 51. The years show, but the partnership remains. Between takes they sit together, folding chairs side by side, coffee growing cold. Wayne speaks. Remember Rio Grande? O'Hara nods. Yates. Wayne almost smiles. Thought he was going to cry when I stepped up. O'Hara laughs. You scared him half to death. Good. Silence. Comfortable silence. The kind between people who have known each other for decades. O'Hara speaks again. You know, I never thanked you properly. For what? For standing up that day. All those years ago, nobody had ever done that for me before. Not like that. Wayne shifts in his chair. You didn't need me to. O'Hara looks at him. No, but you did it anyway. That's the difference, Duke. You did it anyway. Wayne is quiet for a moment. Then he speaks. You remember what I said about you being the pillar? I remember. I meant it. Still do. Always will. He stands, brushes off his pants. Now come on. Ford's getting cranky. We've got a scene to shoot. He walks toward the set. O'Hara watches him go. 20 years, 5 films, 1,000 small moments of respect and trust and standing together when it would have been easier to stand apart. That is partnership. That is loyalty. That is love. Not romantic love. Something harder. Something rarer. The love of equals who refuse to let each other fall. John Wayne died in 1979. Maureen O'Hara was not at the funeral. She was filming in another country. Could not get back in time. But she released a statement. Short, simple. Duke was my partner, my friend, my pillar. He stood up for me when others wouldn't. He believed in me when I forgot to believe in myself. I will never work with another actor who comes close to what he was. Years later, she wrote a memoir published in 2004. 'Tis herself. One chapter is dedicated to Wayne. The whole chapter pages about their partnership, their films, their friendship. But one passage stands out. On the set of Rio Grande, a powerful man tried to humiliate me. He called me replaceable, called me nothing. I stood my ground, but I was alone. Or so I thought. Duke stepped forward quietly, calmly. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't need to. He simply said what was true. She is not a part of this set. She is the pillar that holds it up. That is who Duke was. He didn't defend women because they were weak. He defended them because they were strong and deserved to stay that way. He didn't rescue me. He reminded everyone else what they should have already known. I was not property. I was not decoration. I was Maureen O'Hara. And that meant something. Maureen O'Hara died in 2015. 95 years old. At her memorial, they played clips from her films. The Quiet Man, How Green Was My Valley, Rio Grande. In every clip with Wayne, you can see it. The trust, the respect, the partnership between equals. That is what he gave her. Not protection, not rescue, recognition, the understanding that she was strong enough to stand on her own and the promise that she would never have to. Some debts are not about money. They are about showing up when it matters. Wayne showed up that day in the desert and every day after. That is the measure of a man. Not the fists he throws, but the people he stands beside. If this story moved you, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. Leave a comment below. What do you think about the day John Wayne stood up for Maureen O'Hara? We'd love to hear your thoughts. And unfortunately, they don't make men like John Wayne anymore.